There are moments in human history that do more than simply pass, they leave a mark. They echo through time and remind us not just of what we have achieved, but of what we're capable of becoming. Recently, NASA launched another mission into space, and to many people it may have looked like just another event, another rocket, another countdown, another headline. But if you look deeper, you begin to understand that it was something far greater than that. It was a reflection of human curiosity, human courage, and the endless desire to go beyond what is known. Long before rockets ever existed, long before science had the answers we rely on today, there were people who stood beneath the night sky and simply looked up. They didn't have telescopes. They didn't have data. All they had were questions. Questions about the stars, about the darkness, about whether we were alone. And even though the universe gave them no clear answers, something inside them refused to stop asking. That same curiosity, that same restless desire to understand has been passed down through generations, and today it is the very force that drives missions like this. When NASA prepares for a launch, it doesn't begin with fire or engines. It begins with an idea, a single thought that dares to challenge what is possible. That idea grows into years of planning, testing, failure, and improvement. Thousands of people dedicate their time, their energy, and their expertise to making something work that once seemed impossible. And then after all the preparation, the moment finally arrives. The countdown begins. The world watches. Everything must be precise, everything must be perfect, because in space there is no room for error. Then comes ignition. The ground shakes, the engines roar, and for a brief moment it almost feels unreal. A machine built by human hands begins to rise against gravity itself. And in that moment we are witnessing more than a launch. We are witnessing defiance. Defiance against limitation. Defiance against doubt. A statement that says we are not confined to where we started, but space is not welcoming. It is silent, cold, and unforgiving. It does not forgive mistakes, and it does not offer second chances. That is what makes every successful mission so powerful. Behind every launch, there are countless failures that the world never sees. Experiments that didn't work, missions that didn't go as planned, setbacks that could have stopped everything. But they didn't, because one of the greatest lessons we learn from NASA is that failure is not the end. It is part of the journey. Every mistake carries a lesson. Every setback creates a path forward. Think about the astronauts who take part in these missions. They sit at the top of a rocket filled with fuel powerful enough to send them beyond the Earth, fully aware of the risks involved. They are not fearless people. They are people who understand fear but choose to move forward anyway. They are prepared, focused, and driven by purpose. And that is what makes them extraordinary. So why do we continue to explore? Why do we keep pushing into the unknown when it is so dangerous, so uncertain, and so difficult? The answer is simple. Exploration is part of who we are. If humanity had never explored, we would not have grown. We would not have advanced. Everything we know today is the result of someone deciding to go beyond what was familiar. This recent mission is not just about reaching space. It is about expanding what we believe is possible. It is about opening doors to discoveries that could change the way we understand our world and our place in the universe. Every mission creates a ripple effect. The technologies developed for space often find their way back to Earth, improving our daily lives in ways we don't always realize. From communication systems to medical advancements, the impact of these missions goes far beyond space itself. And when you think about the size of the universe, it becomes even more incredible. There are more stars than grains of sand on Earth, more galaxies than we can truly comprehend. Somewhere out there could be answers to questions we have not even thought to ask yet. That is what makes the work of NASA so important. It is not just about exploration. It is about possibility. But this journey is not only for scientists or astronauts. It belongs to all of us. Because the same curiosity that drives space exploration exists within you. The same desire to grow, to improve, and to go further is something we all share. You may not be launching rockets, but you're facing your own challenges, your own obstacles, and your own limits. Just like a rocket must overcome gravity to rise, you must overcome resistance in your own life. There will be pressure, there will be doubt. There will be moments where it feels easier to stay where you are, but growth never comes from staying comfortable. It comes from pushing forward even when it is difficult. Right now, whether you realize it or not, you are in your own countdown, preparing for something greater, waiting for the moment when you decide to take action. And when that moment comes, you have to be ready to move. Because the difference between staying grounded and rising higher is not talent or luck. It is courage, courage to take the first step, courage to fail and keep going, courage to face the unknown and move forward anyway. The unknown is not something to fear, it is something to explore. Everything that has ever been achieved once existed in the unknown. As NASA continues to push further into space, discovering new things and expanding the boundaries of human knowledge, one thing becomes clear. We are only at the beginning. There is so much more to learn, so much more to discover, and so much more to achieve. So the next time you see a rocket launch, don't just watch it. Understand what it represents. It represents progress. It represents resilience. It represents the idea that no matter how great the challenge may be, it can be overcome. Because somewhere right now, beyond the clouds and far above the sky, humanity is moving forward. A mission is unfolding. A future is being shaped. And the question is not whether we will continue to explore, because we will. The real question is whether you will move forward in your own life, whether you will push beyond your own limits, or whether you will remain where you are while everything else continues to rise. The choice is yours.